city that's close by. Bitch ass hillbilly redneck fans. Auburn almost caught y'all slacking like dress pants. Michigan trash, they ain't got a damn chance. Only Wolverine I respect is X-Man. Sheen ass coach got exposed, still in plays. Damn right I'm bitter, y'all sweeter than lemonade. Texas ain't shit to rave about. The Longhorns only good at a steakhouse. Had y'all like number 3, I was like, no way. Y'all lost to Oklahoma, which means y'all just okay. And Washington not important. Y'all be some ducks, acting like that's vital as an organ. If we played y'all, we kick that ass Chuck Norris. Y'all stay boring. Only thing in that bitch is a forest. Let's set the record straight. Fuck your team if it ain't Florida State.
Real Spill with Dupree.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Real Spill with Dupree, College Football Talk Edition. I don't know how many people on, but College Football Talk Edition, Week 3 recap and Week 4 preview. Got a few good games to get into from last week. How's everybody doing out there? I'm riding solo tonight. All my guys busy, but I'm gonna hold it down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over same routine, go over the Week 3 games, scores, any little nuances I wanted to go over, and then preview Week 2. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do my tag. Let me do my tag, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Did it not share? I'm trying to do my tag in the other groups, but it don't look like it shared. That's weird. They say I shared it. Anyway, yeah. So Week 3 had some good games, had some upsets. Got some coaches about to get fired. Oh, there you go. I don't know why it's way down there. Oh, I already used that for that. Can't get it. Let's see. All right, so let me dive right on in. Week 3 recap. Starting with the oh shit. We had a Thursday night game, which was Vodtech and Wake Forest. I'm sorry, y'all. North Carolina State and Wake Forest. It was Thursday night. North Carolina State won 34-24. Friday night was Colorado lost another one to Houston, 36-20. I don't know what is going on with Coach Prime and the Buffs, but they're struggling right now. What they 1-2, tough loss to Houston on the road. And he benched his quarterback. He benched the transfer, Caden Sawyer. Then he also played Juju Lewis, was the 5-star freshman, and benched him for the 3rd stringer. And they still lost. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but they got to get that thing together. I believe in Coach Prime. I believe they'll figure it out, but they definitely need to figure it out soon because they're struggling right now. Trying to figure out who the quarterback. I think it's more so the offensive coordinator than it is the players, because I feel like Week 1, Caden Salter was playing confused, not relaxed. I think they need to run a true spread offense, and let him just get out there and play football. I know Pat Shermer from the NFL, he's trying to run a pro-style offense, but it ain't working. It ain't fitting the players. So I think they should go ahead and scrap all that, let the man go play backyard football and build off of that. But Colorado 1-2 lost to Houston 36-20. The other Friday night game was Kansas State, Arizona. Arizona won 23-17. Moving right along to Saturday. And I'm going to start with, well, I guess I can say Ohio State beat out Ohio 37-9. Not the score everybody expected, but Ohio State took care of business. Penn State beat Villanova 52-6. And then the game that we kind of knew was going to happen, Florida LSU. Florida should have won the game. Florida defense played well enough to win the game. Even despite the 5 interceptions thrown by DJ Ladway, which they still had a chance to win the game. LSU at home still only won by 10. Yeah, I felt like it was going to happen. I never believed that Florida was going to be able to win the game, even as a Gator fan. I just don't believe in Billy Napier. I don't believe in his play calling. I don't believe in his scheme. I don't believe in his identity that he well, I don't even think he has an identity, but it's just not enough spacing. It's just not enough creativity with the route concepts. You're not giving your running backs room to run. And then you're not even running your running backs enough. DJ Ladway threw the ball way too many times, in my opinion. I'm trying to put up the stat for that game. He threw the ball way too many times, in my opinion. Yes, some responsibility goes to, and some blame goes to DJ Ladway because he hasn't played good all year. I said it in the LIU game. His feet work and mechanics were off. He's not stepping into his throws. He's throwing off his tippy toes, and he's throwing off his fat-footed a lot. He's throwing off his back foot a lot. He hasn't stepped into a throw all year. He doesn't look. And a lot of these bad throws that he's making with his mechanics off, he's also got a clean pocket. So you got a clean pocket, and you're still not making the throws. You're not going through your progression properly, not making the right reads. It's a bunch. But I also want to put some blame on Billy Napier as a play caller and as a scheme because he's having too much bunch. The receivers are bunched in too much. He's running 2 tight end sets, and his tight ends are not receiving tight ends, so they're no threat to the defense. And he did spread them out starting the LSU game. He went 4 wide, but he had his tight end, Hayden Hansen, number 89, far out right. For whatever reason, I don't know why you got the slowest man on the field far out right. He's no threat. But I guess he heard everybody saying he need to spread out more, so he said, okay, I'm going to keep my tight end on the field and spread out. Florida is about 7 or 8 players deep at receiver, and for some reason, Billy Napier just refuses to play him. His decision making, his lack of understanding of the game, and lack of understanding of his own players is very confusing. But nonetheless, Florida loses 20-10 to LSU in Death Valley in a game that the Gators should have won. DJ Ladway threw the ball 49 times. He threw 33 completions, 49 attempts, 1 touchdown, and 5 interceptions. And interceptions were brutal. I mean, they were horrible. They were bad. They were like inexcusable interceptions. Jaden Ball only had 10 carries for 46 yards, unacceptable. He's a workhorse back that should have 20 carries a game. And for some reason, for the second week in a row, he's not getting enough carries. They got away from the run for some reason, even when Ladway showed that he wasn't in a rhythm. He showed he wasn't comfortable. The coach still thought it was a great idea to keep dropping him back and throw the ball. The best receiver on the day was Vernell Brown for them, 8 catches, 62 yards. But yeah, and then Mizell, number 11, who made 3 big plays, two receiving passes on 3rd down, and an over the shoulder touchdown catch, and he didn't play. He didn't play enough. I think he played 9 plays total or something like that. I just don't know what the coaching staff, I don't know what Billy Napier and the rest of the staff is looking at. I don't know what they're thinking, but when you don't play players that are actually helping you, I don't have no words for it. Gus Nussmeier went 15 out of 27, a touchdown and a pick for 220. Kalen Durham, their running back, 15 carries, 93 yards. And Anderson was their best receiver with 4 catches and 75 yards. Florida played well enough to win this game. No excuses. Florida had the total yards of 366. LSU had total yards of 322. The Gators had obviously the 5 turnovers. Nussmeier had the 1 bad pick at the end of the game, toward the end of the game. But the Gators had 23 first downs. LSU had 10. Florida had 7 penalties for 57 yards. LSU had 7 penalties for 68 yards. Florida was 6 of 17 on third down. LSU was 4 of 14 on third down. And Florida was 1 of 1 on fourth down. Florida also won the time of possession, 37 minutes and 46 seconds to LSU's 22 minutes and 14 seconds. So if you look at those stats, you would think that the Gators won the game, but they didn't. Horrible coaching, horrible scheme, horrible play from the quarterback. It's probably going to get him fired. Well, ain't no problem. He should have been fired. And so, yeah, Billy Napier probably got one more game this weekend when they play Miami Hurricanes, and that'll be his last game in the Florida as a Florida Gator head coach. I need Miami to win this game. I don't want the players to come together, fight together, and win a game and give him extend his leash. I think he should be fired regardless of what happens the rest of the season. He's shown over 4 years that he's not the guy for the job. He just can't handle it. The situation's too high. But if they do beat Miami, it's just going to, have people go to pause. The people that make the decisions, pause on firing him. I do want to point out that with the transfer portal rule, if your coach is fired, the portal opens for 30 days for those players on the team. So I've read some stuff saying that Florida's not pulling the plug early because they want to wait till week 5. Because if you do it before week 4, if all the players can save their year and get out of there. So if Florida waits to week 5 to fire him, it bodes well for them to actually fill the team the rest of the year. So that's just speculation on Twitter. I'm not. That's not for sure. I don't think he can make it out of the Miami game, but I can see if they do wait to after the Miami game. I mean, like after the Miami game and wait for the Texas game because we got to bye after Miami, I believe. I think it's a bye after Miami. Let me check real quick. I think we got a bye after Miami, and then we play Texas, or either it's a bye after Texas. But let me fact check before I put out false information. Either way, I think he should be fired. And I think the earlier you fire him, the better, because you want to get a head start on the hiring process or the coaching search process. So they play, so there's a bye week. So you play Miami September 20th, then you got a bye, and then it's Texas October 4th. So I think the best thing to do is fire him no matter what, no matter the outcome of the Miami game. Regroup the team, get the interim coach in during that bye week, let them install their systems and move forward like that. Because I don't think keeping him changes anything. It just makes it harder and prolongs something that needs to happen regardless, which is him being out there. And I think he's a great guy. I like him. I wish he would have did it. I've been arguing with people since he's been there. I believe in it. But he ain't got it. He just don't got it. His refusal to hire OC this offseason was telling. When you say, I got this, I want to cover players, I want to be the offensive coordinator, the head coach, and quarterback coach, or whatever you want to be on the whole offense. The whole offense is over. So it's no excuse. Yes, DJ Ladway has been playing hard. But at the same time, it's the coaches who are putting him out there and the coaches who are not putting him in a position to be successful. And the coach who could have just benched him. You could have benched him for a series or 2. I said he should have got benched for a series or 2 against South Florida because Tremaine Jones played well against LIU as far as going through his reads, getting the ball out of his hand, being comfortable in the pocket, stepping to his throw. DJ Ladway not practicing all spring and summer is showing, but at the same time, Carson Beck didn't practice for Miami either. Yes, Carson Beck is a 5th-year senior, so that's a little bit different. DJ Ladway is a sophomore. So, yeah, the growing pains that he's going through could have still happened even if he had practice. But he did show me that he can't read defenses either. When you go back and watch the film, we got a guy on Twitter for Gators, and he breaks down plays each week, wins or losses. And a lot of the throw that DJ Ladway was making has nothing to do with the coach. Although the spacing could be better and having better receivers who can actually get open. Vernell Brownson, like the only receiver who can get open besides Myzel. who Billy Napier chooses not to play. A lot of the throws, he never even went through his reads. He just kind of stayed down the receiver and threw the ball. He didn't read the defense to see what the defender was at. So it was just all around bad in Gator Nation. And I think it will stay that way as long as Billy Napier is the head coach. So anyway, Oregon beat Northwestern 34-14. Miami, South Florida. I said it on the show last week. South Florida is not a good football team. No disrespect to them. They're not a football team on that level of the Big Three or bigger programs. And Florida allowed them to look like that. Now, they did beat Boise State, but I don't even think Boise State is that good of a football team either. So when I said it last week, that Miami was going to blow them out. The quarterback can't throw. Receivers can't get open. Their defense is not that good on that level, playing against a team with that level of talent. And that's exactly what Miami did. Miami beat them 49-12. And it was a complete domination from beginning to end. Not one point in the game. It was a little spots in the game where South Florida did play a little defense here and there, move the ball a little bit here and there. But at the end of the day, Miami's talent prevailed. Miami's coaching and scheme prevailed. And it was a great defensive effort from Miami. They were all over the field. They were flying all over the field. Great offensive display. Carson Beck played amazing. I know a lot of people wanted to cancel him out when he left Georgia, but he's been playing really good. He's fit right in with Miami. I also said that Miami's offense under Beck would be more efficient than the offense was under Cam Ward. Cam Ward's offense at Miami was more explosive, but Carson Beck's offense is more efficient. And I actually seen a Miami fan tweet that the other day. It made me feel good because I said that and people call me crazy. But I think Carson Beck behind a great offensive line, a great running game. Fletcher had himself a day. Mark Fletcher had himself a day, 120 on the ground. Carson Beck had 340 on the ground. I'm sorry, in the air. Let me pull up the stats from the game. The Miami defense has just been playing lights out. Ruben Bain has been amazing. On the linebacker core, it's just all around. Yeah, Carson Beck had 340. He throwing that ball pretty good. But Miami defense collectively, the secondary, has been playing good. The scheme, the defense coordinators dialing up the scheme. They went and got a different defense coordinator after the defense was horrible last year. He's made a huge difference. You had Carson Beck 23 out of 28, 3 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 picks. Mark Fletcher, 16 carries, 120 and 2 touchdowns. Their leading receiver was Marion, 6 catches, 81 yards. And then USF quarterback Brown, 20 out of 36, 1 TD, 1 pick for 274. The running back Isaac had 6 carries for 20 yards. Nimrod, their leading receiver, 4 catches, 128. So yeah, Miami just shut them down. I mean, it was they dominated exactly how we expected. Well, I know I expected them to. A lot of people were saying USF was going to beat Miami and all this blah, 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 blah. Like I said before, USF is not that type of team. They're not there yet. Now, teams on their level, yeah. Teams on their level, they're going to beat some teams. I expect them to win some games and have a good record as they go throughout the season. But they had no business hanging around with Florida and beating Florida. And Miami made sure that they didn't hang around with them. And they dominated the way they should have. And the Hurricanes improved to 3-0. Another big game was Georgia-Tennessee. This was a great game. Tennessee, at the beginning, looked like they was going to run away with it. They were dominating Georgia. They had Georgia on the heels, and I was just like, oh, my God, Georgia is looking like they shouldn't be on the field with Tennessee. And it's usually the complete opposite. And then Georgia turned it up a notch, and Georgia got back in the game and made it a game. And then it was a shootout from there where Georgia ended up winning 44-41 in OT. Gunnar Stockton, 23 out of 31 for 304 and 2 touchdowns. Joey Aguilar, Tennessee quarterback, 24 out of 36, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, and he threw for 371. That Tennessee offense, when they're going and Aguilar's hitting that deep ball, they're a scary team. Nate Frazier led Georgia in rushing with 14 carries, 73 yards. Kobe Young, 4 catches and 73 yards. For Tennessee running, Thomas had 9 carries, 60 yards, and Brazil, 6 catches. This guy had 6 catches, 177 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And 2 bombs where the defender just looked like he never played football before. So shout out to Georgia pulling it out, coming back, making that game a game when it didn't look like it was Tennessee. Like I said, Tennessee had it in the beginning where it was running away with it. And Tennessee taking the futures bright. The rest of you lost this game. You lost the game you should have won. I think they missed a field goal that could have tied it at the end. But the Tennessee future is bright. It's not the end of the world for them. It's not the end of the world for the SEC title for them. It's not the end of the world for the playoffs. I think they're going to be in the conversation the rest of the way. Huge win for Georgia, though. On the road, was down early, 21-7, fought back, found a way to win, and they remain undefeated. Everything's in front of them as well. Georgia got some things they got to clean up, though. They didn't look that great to me. Tennessee let them back in the game, in my opinion. Georgia got some things to fix, but when you get a win like that, you get a win. When you don't play your best and you get a win on the road and against a rival, it's a double win. So they got some stuff to work on, but I feel like they're going to fix it. They're going to get better as the season goes on, and they'll be right there in the thick of things for the college football playoff national championship picture in the SEC. Moving right along, Texas and UTEP. Texas struggled with UTEP. Arch Manning struggled again another week. I was a big fan and big supporter of Arch. I still am. I still believe he's going to come around. He's just showing that young, I don't even want to say jitters at this point, but he's showing the young inexperience. He hasn't been playing good. Texas ended up winning 27-10, though, but the game was very, very close for a long time, and not close as you would expect Texas to be with a team like UTEP that don't match their talent. I expect Texas to continue to get better. The good thing is they got a really good defense that will be able to keep them in every game they're in. As long as Arch doesn't turn the ball over like he did against Ohio State, they're going to have an opportunity to win a lot of games. Texas A&M and Notre Dame, another shootout. Texas A&M, I picked actually. Texas A&M won 41-40. Great game by both teams. Texas A&M pulled it out in the end in a big, huge back and forth game. Notre Dame had a lead early, couple scores. Texas A&M fought back in. They never went away. Shout out to Texas A&M. They're in year 2 with Mike Elko as coach, and they've seen some improvements. Marcel Reed played last year as a freshman, and he's continued to play at a high level. So their future is bright. Marcel Reed, 17 out of 37, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick for 360. And then Mostert, running back, 20 carries, 81 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Craver was the leading receiver. He had 7 catches, 207, and a touchdown. Notre Dame side, Card, the freshman, had 20. He went 20 for 32, 1 pick, 1 TD for 293. And Jeremiah Love, 23 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. And the tight end, Redden, I don't know how to say his name. But anyway, he led the team in receiving yards. He had 4 catches for 85 yards. Notre Dame's going to have to find a way to get a passing. Well, and not to take away from they actually was in the game at home and they should have won. But I think for them to be a championship contender or win a championship, they're going to have to get more production from the receivers and not be one-dimensional going forward, which I'm pretty sure they'll find a way. They found a way last year. They started off slow last year. They found a way to get hot when it mattered, and they made something happen down the stretch. So I like them to pick it up. The biggest upset of the weekend was Vanderbilt over South Carolina. Vanderbilt beat South Carolina 31-7. Lenore Sellers got hurt in that game for South Carolina. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But Lenore Sellers goes down. South Carolina gets blown out at home by Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt's been trending up since last year. Quarterback Paver has been carrying that team same way that King has been carrying it for Georgia Tech. And Georgia and Vanderbilt, they're here. They're not flashy. They're not, the cutest team. They don't run the most explosive offense, but they play great. They play hard. They play disciplined. They play together, and they fight. And anytime you got a mentality like that, us against the world, and you come out every week fighting, you're going to have opportunity to win some games. And they won some games last year. People thought it was a fluke, and here they are, third week of the season this year, and they've taken down one of the SEC favorites. South Carolina was the favorite, contend for the SEC this year. Obviously, losing the North Sellers don't help. Hopefully, he's not out too long. But it wasn't like stats wasn't pretty. Pavia went 18 out of 25, 2 touchdown passes, a pick for 177. The running back Lassiter, he had the most yards. He only had 1 carry, 1 TD for 44 yards. Tight end Stowers, 3 catches, 45 yards. And then on the South Carolina side, Dottie came in for Sellers. He went 18 out of 27, a pick, and 148 in the air. Faison, the running back, 15 carries, 1 TD, 74 yards. And Nick Harbor, 4 catches, 66 yards. So not a lot of offense, not a ton of big plays and big stats going on in that game, but it was if you like old school style football, that's what that was. Hard fought game, low scoring game. Vanderbilt victorious. Clemson, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech beat Clemson. Clemson just underachieving. They're underachieving if you're one of the people who believe in them. I didn't believe in them. I said it in my week one show. I don't believe in Clemson. I don't believe in Cade Klubnik. When people continue to argue about before the season, they were talking about ACC favorites. They're talking about national championship contender. This is going to be the year that Clemson get back to the old days, and they have not shown any signs of that. I still don't believe in them. Georgia Tech was able to run on their their field goal team late to put down a 55-yard field goal to win the game. Georgia Tech won 24-20. And Clemson's trying to find answers. I don't know if you've seen Dabo Swinney. What up, Ty? Seen Dabo Swinney go off on a rant saying basically if Clemson wants to fire him, but he's going to go somewhere else and coach, and he's going to go somewhere else and continue to do what he always did. But Clemson, I don't know where you go from here. Where do you go from here? Where do you find that spark? Where do you find that energy? Where do you find the answers to the questions of why y'all are not playing up to your potential? Cade Klubnik, 15 out of 26, 1 TD, 1 interception for 207. Randall, 15 carries, 80 yards, and a TD. Wesco was the best receiver, 7 catches, 1 TD, and 126 yards. And they had a DB with 10 tackles. Hannafin, I guess I'm saying his name right. He had 9 single tackles. Not a good thing when your DB leads you in tackle. Well, I guess it don't matter against Georgia Tech because they're running a lot. Haynes King was 20 out of 20, Georgia Tech side. Haynes King, 20 out of 28 for 211. Passing. Haynes King led the team in rushing as well. 25 carries, 103, and a TD. And then Rivers, 3 catches for 72 yards receiving. I said this before the Clemson and Georgia Tech game. The reason why I picked Clemson win, I just didn't think that Georgia Tech going to be able to continue to be the one-dimensional and beat good teams. They did just that. But if you're asking your quarterback to go through a full season throwing the ball 28 times and running the ball 25 times, I just don't think that's a recipe for success. They possibly could prove me wrong. They proved me wrong against Clemson. I just don't think that you can continue to be able to have your quarterback be your workhorse at a running back, and then your workhorse in the passing game. But so far they're 3-0, and it's working. So it is what it is. I just don't think they're going to be able to continue to do it. Georgia Tech improves to 3-0, and Clemson drops to 1-2. Arkansas and Ole Miss. Arkansas was in the game. They had an opportunity. They really close game. Ole Miss ends up pulling it out. 41-35. Ole Miss lost their starting quarterback, Anthony Simmons. The backup stepped in, played amazing. Guy played amazing. He was a transfer, but he played amazing. Trinidad Chambliss went 21 for Ole Miss. He went 21 out of 29, 1 TD, 353 yards off the bench. Their lead, and he also led them in rushing yards with 15 carries, 2 TDs on 62 yards. Their leading receiver, Wallace, had 6 catches for 92 yards and a TD. On the Arkansas side, Green, another heck of a quarterback. Taylor Green is a heck of a quarterback. If you ever never seen him play, you got to check him out. But Taylor Green went 22 out of 35 for 305 and 1 TD. He also led his team with rushing yards, 14 carries, 115 and a touchdown. Blake led the team receiving, 6 catches, 81 yards and a TD. Shootout in Fayetteville. And Ole Miss closed it out 41-35. Moving right along, what else we had? We had Alabama. Alabama back at bouncing back. Everybody was ready to write Alabama off after that week 1 loss to Florida State. They welcomed Wisconsin this past weekend, and they blew them out 38-14 in dominant fashion. And you can, I didn't count Alabama out that week 1. A lot of people did, but they're bouncing back in a good way, and people can say Big Ten opponent. Ooh, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. Big Ten opponent, this is a Big Ten opponent, that, but they're taking care of business, so you're supposed to beat the teams on your schedule. On the Alabama side, Ty Simpson, 24 out of 29 for 4 TDs, 382 in the air, and Ty Simpson switched that. But on the looks of it, he led them in rushing too. 6 carries for 25 yards. Ryan Williams went off after a lot of people criticized him for not showing up in that first game against Florida State. He had 5 catches, 165, 2 touchdowns. Wisconsin quarterback O'Neal, 11 out of 17, 1 TD, 2 picks for 117. And their running back's named Dupree. I wonder if that's my cousin. Darian Dupree. Spelled that name the same too. I need to hit him up on Twitter. Anyway, Darian Dupree, 7 carries for 26 yards. Jay Bullard, 1 catch, 41 yards and a touchdown. So not much offense from Wisconsin, but Alabama did what they're supposed to do. They took care of business and pulled out a big win. I want to pull up the stat to see who else has a rushing yard. But anyway, so Alabama wins 30-14, improved to 2-1. Wisconsin, that was their first loss. They're 2-1 over the Big Ten. So I think Alabama's right where they want to be. Alabama, you took a bad loss to Florida State in the first week of the season, and they're still coming to work every day, improving. They got a lot of football in front of them. SEC still out there for them. Playoffs and national championship still out there for them. I'm only going to talk about the game we're talking about today. Pittsburgh was upset by West Virginia, 31-24 in OT. Didn't expect that. West Virginia came off a bad loss last week and bounced back this week with getting a good W over Pitt. Pitt's another ACC favorite, contender favorite. And they played down to the competition. Duke and Tulane. So Duke and Tulane was an interesting matchup because Tulane's quarterback, Darian Massa, I don't know how to say his name right. He transferred to Duke. He's the highest paid quarterback or highest paid player in college. I think they're giving him $4 million a year, $4 million for the year. Anyway, Tulane's quarterback transferred to Duke. They gave him a lot of money, and Tulane beat Duke 34-27. So you get Tulane's quarterback, and then Tulane beats you with their quarterback. I mean, with their former quarterback. Mensah is how I say it. Mensah, he did play good though. He had Mensah. Now I think he threw the ball entirely too much, but Mensah 30 completions, 51 attempts, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception for 313. Nick Shepard, I think it's Nick Shepard. Nate Shepard, sorry. Nate Shepard, Duke's running back, had 5 carries, 75 yards. And Quinshawn Brown had 6 catches for 81 yards for Duke. On Tulane side, Retzlaff, who transferred into Tulane, went 15 out of 23 for 245. He didn't throw a touchdown. And then Retzlaff also led his team in rushing with 17 carries, 111 yards, and he scored 4 rushing touchdowns. So Duke, you got beat by a quarterback that didn't even throw a touchdown pass, and he ran 4 touchdowns. Preston led Tulane with receiving yards, 3 catches for 95 yards. So Tulane plays against their old quarterback. Duke, you paid Mensah a lot of money, and he didn't deliver. He put the stats up. He didn't deliver a W. So Duke's still trying to find something to get them going this year. They also lost a week before against Illinois, but they got blew out 45-19. So Duke's got to find something. They're trying to find some answers. It's still early. They're 1-2. Everything's still in play in front of them. Everything in front of them still ACC and playoff with the 12 teams. So they got a lot to play for. They just need to figure out the offense. They need to find some playmakers to help Mensah out, and they'll be fine. FIU, Willie Simmons beat Florida Atlantic 38-28. Willie Simmons won't be at FIU long. I said that when he took the job. I didn't think he would be there long if he had success, and he's had success so far. And I still believe he won't be there long. He'll be at a bigger Power 5 soon. On the FIU side of stats, the quarterback Jenkins, 18 out of 24, 184 and a touchdown. Owens, the running back, 19 carries, 173, 2 touchdowns. Anderson, receiver, 5 catches, 81 yards. On the Florida Atlantic side, Veltkamp, I think that's how you say his name, 33 out of 52 touchdowns, 343 yards, and he threw 3 picks. Sands, the running back, 14 carries, 105. Platt, the receiver, 5 catches, 90 yards. So a lot of stats on the Florida Atlantic side, but they didn't pull out the W. Shout out my boy Willie Simmons. He got FIU playing some really good football, which I expected. And they're 2-1 with their only loss being to a Power 5 when they lost to Penn State. But he's got FIU playing good. I'm not surprised. They're 2-1, and like I said, they beat Bethune week 1. They lost to Penn State, and then they beat FIU. They should be able to hold their own in their conference. I like them to be a conference championship contender in the Conference USA. And like I said, I like Willie Simmons. Maybe 2 years, 3 years tops, and he'll be moving along to a bigger job. That's all the games for week 3 worth discussing. I'm gonna move right along to week 4. I ain't gonna keep y'all too much. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long tonight. Hold on. All right, week 4. Oh, my bad. Let me go back. Week 2. Let me go back to the standings for the week. The standings. And breaking news, actually, while I'm on here with y'all, Florida Gators running back coach Jamar Jaluk has been suspended by UF and the SEC for 3 games due to his involvement in a pregame altercation at LSU this weekend. So Florida takes another blow. Another blow. I guess you can't say it can't get any worse. But so Florida's running back coach is suspended. And yeah, so the hits keep on coming for the Gator Nation. That's crazy. Anyway, back to reporting. He had the AP top 25 after week 3. You had Ohio State 1, Penn State 2, LSU 3, Miami 4, Georgia 5, Oregon 6, Florida State 7, Texas 8, Illinois 9. Texas A&M 10, Oklahoma at 11, Iowa State 12, Ole Miss 13, Alabama 14, Tennessee 15, Oklahoma 16, Texas Tech at 17, Georgia Tech 18, Utah 19, Vanderbilt 20. Shout out Vanderbilt. Michigan 21, Auburn 22, Missouri 23, and I don't know how is this possible, but Notre Dame is ranked 24 at 0-2, and they got USC behind them, who is undefeated. So they're trying to keep Notre Dame in the mix by keeping them ranked. Me, I had alternated some of those picks. I would swap LSU. I mean, I would put FSU. I'm sorry, let me start from the top. I would put Miami at 3, FSU at 4, Georgia at 5, Oregon at 6, and LSU at 7. And that's nothing against LSU. They played well. They won their game. They're undefeated. But that's what I would do. I would go. Mine would go Ohio State 1, Penn State 2, Miami 3, FSU 4, Georgia 5, Oregon 6, LSU 7, so forth and so on. But that's your week 3 standings. Going into week 4. Going into week 4, you got Texas Tech and Utah. That's going to be a really good game. Texas Tech has been playing a really good football offense. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. I'm picking Texas Tech in that one. Well, let me do the Friday night. Friday night, you got Tulsa and Oklahoma State. You got Iowa and Rutgers. Thursday night, I'm sorry, I skipped that. You got Rice and Charlotte. I'm pretty sure y'all don't care about this game. Oklahoma State, Tulsa. I would go Oklahoma State, even though they've been playing bad. And I would go Iowa over Rutgers. Saturday, Texas Tech and Utah. I'm going Utah. No, I'm going Texas Tech. Arkansas, Memphis. I'm going Arkansas. Maryland, Wisconsin. I'm going Wisconsin. Syracuse and Clemson. Now, this is an interesting game. Syracuse is a 17 and a half underdog. The last time I checked Hard Rock, I would definitely take those points. Clemson is not going to beat them by 17 and a half if Clemson beats them at all. It is at Clemson, though. You got SMU and TCU. I think that's going to be a really good game, a quiet sleeper game for the weekend. Hard to go either way. TCU is at home. I'm going to pick SMU. I really like Rhett Lashlee. I think Rhett Lashlee is going to be he's another coach that won't be at his current job long. Somebody's going to come calling him soon. So I'm picking SMU in that one. You got this is another little quiet game. South Carolina State, HBCU South Carolina State is playing South Florida. It would be a good game to watch. A 12 o'clock game you want to watch it. You got that was all 12 o'clock games. At 3 o'clock you got Oregon State. I like Oregon, no question. 3:30 you got Florida State, Kent State. Florida State was off last week. They're back at home. They got Kent State coming to town. I like Florida State. I like Florida State to continue their dominant fashion. I like them to blow out Kent State. The spread was really, really high. I think it was like 41 and a half. I wouldn't touch that. I just think 41 and a half is a lot, although I do expect Florida State to blow them out. I wouldn't touch 41 and a half. I'm about to fact check that to make sure it's still that. It was definitely 41 and a half the other day, I believe. Oh, my bad, 45 and a half. Florida State's 45 and a half favorite over Kent State. I won't touch that spread. Anyway, but I do set Florida State to continue their dominance and continue their run at an ACC title and a national championship. And they're my favorite to win the ACC. I also think that Miami and Florida State will play twice. I said this earlier. They will play twice this year, once in the regular season, and they'll play again for the ACC championship game. Auburn and Oklahoma. This is a very, very, very intriguing game. Auburn has Oklahoma's former quarterback, Jackson Arnold. He transferred to Auburn in the offseason. He'll have a revenge. He'll have revenge on his mind going into Norman, Oklahoma, where he used to call home. I like Oklahoma though. I watched Oklahoma. I picked Oklahoma to dominate Michigan, which they did. I picked Oklahoma as a sleeper team in the SEC. I also picked Auburn. I thought Auburn is a sleeper team for the SEC as well. and Oklahoma is. But I just believe in Brent Venables. That defense is playing them out of their mind. And if they got a quarterback in John Mateer, who's been playing out of his mind, he's a Heisman candidate. I like Oklahoma to take care of Auburn at home. You got Tulane and Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss. You got, matter of fact, let me see what that spread is for Ole Miss, because I don't think Oklahoma is actually a 6.5 favorite. I'm debating on whether I want to take them to cover that or not, but I definitely like Ole Miss to win straight up. The spread for the Ole Miss game is Ole Miss is 11.5 favorite. I might take that. Ole Miss is at home. I like them to dominate. Another good intriguing sleeper game: Michigan at Nebraska. Nebraska's been playing some really good football as of late. The offense is starting to open up. Then Raiola is starting to come around and show why he was a 5-star quarterback coming out of high school. DJ Underwood's been playing really good. He's been making some freshman mistakes and stuff like that. That's a tough one. Nebraska's at home. They're unranked currently. This is a tough one. Let me see what the spread is. The Michigan minus 2.5. This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Michigan. Although I think I'm gonna say Nebraska will play good, will be a good game. I just think Michigan has more playmakers than Nebraska, and I think Michigan will win. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go Nebraska. So I'm switching. I'm going Nebraska at home. I think they will be able to give DJ Underwood some trouble. The freshman on the road, he struggled on the road against Oklahoma. I'm gonna go Nebraska. I'm gonna go Nebraska to finally get that win that they need to show that they're serious. I'm gonna go with Dylan Raiola playing good and the guys playing good around him. And I'm putting on the Nebraska defense. They upset Michigan. Notre Dame, Purdue. I'm going Notre Dame. North Carolina and UCF. Another small intriguing game. It's at UCF. I'm picking UCF. But this will be a good opportunity for Bill Belichick and his star here to kind of show what they are or what they are about. They're for real or not. UCF is favored 6.5. I wouldn't touch the point, but I will take UCF straight up. Moving right along, you got North Carolina State at Duke. I'm going North Carolina State. I just don't believe in Duke. They haven't shown me any reason to believe in Duke, and Duke is actually favored by 3.5 points. But I'm going North Carolina State. I'm going Bailey. I love Bailey, CJ Bailey at quarterback of North Carolina State. I love the running back. I'm going North Carolina State over Duke at Duke. West Virginia, Kansas. This is a good, intriguing game as well. I'm gonna go Kansas. I trust Jalen Daniels. Although West Virginia beat Pitt last week with an upset win, I trust Kansas. Trust Kansas more at home. Delaware at Florida International. This is gonna be a good game. Delaware coming off a huge win last week. But I'm going Willie Simmons. I'm going Willie Simmons to the wheels fall off. Delaware beat UConn last week, 44-41. So they're coming off a monumental win of their own. But I don't care. I'm Willie Simmons. I'm Willie Simmons to the wheels fall off. And I'm going with FIU. Moving right along, you got South Carolina at Missouri. South Carolina coming off a tough loss at home, getting embarrassed by Vanderbilt last week. I don't know the seriousness or how long North Sellers will be out, but I'm going Missouri. Either way, Missouri at home with the win. And that spread is Missouri's favored by 9.5 at home. And then the game of the week, I don't know why game day is going to Miami for this Miami-Florida game, but hey, the game they're going to be in Hard Rock Stadium Saturday, Miami and Florida, 7:30 kickoff. I'm picking Miami. I need Miami to win. As a Gator fan, I need them to win so they can seal Napier's fate. We need to get him up out of there. But I will say this. I said this about the LSU game. I wouldn't be surprised if Florida players found a way to get together, backs against the wall. We love our coach. We're going to fight for our coach. We're going to play for our coach. And they pull off an upset. I wouldn't be surprised. I also said that Miami plays the style of football that bodes well for Florida. And that's why they were also in the LSU game. Because LSU played a style of offense that fits Florida. If you're slow, methodical, not really not a high power offense, you just want to run the ball, play good defense, take what the defense gives you on offense. Florida defense is good enough to hang in there with anybody. And I think unless you're a high power, high scoring offense that can make Florida's offense match your high power scoring, that they're going to be in the game. And I think Miami runs an offense that's not trying to score. Not that they can't score a lot of points. They're just not trying to score. They score off of their players just making plays. They're not going out there trying to put 50 on you. I think that bodes well for Florida. So I wouldn't be surprised if Florida won, but I don't think they will, and I hope they don't. I don't need Billy Napier to get no more wins to make the administration think maybe he can turn it around. So Miami do the whole get the nation a favor, take care of business. I got Miami winning. That spread is right now at 7.5 Miami. And I may take Miami to cover that, actually. Next game, Indiana, Illinois. This will be a good game, Illinois. On the road, Indiana's playing good football. Illinois is playing good football. This is a tough one, too. This is a tough one. Although I trust Indiana at home, I think they play really good football at home. They played really good football at home last year. I'm gonna go with Illinois. I'm gonna go with Illinois to get a big road win over Indiana. That spread sits at Indiana favored by 4.5. I'm going Illinois. All right, you got Washington State. This used to be a really big game in the Pac-12. I'm gonna go with Washington. I'm going Washington mostly because Jed Fisher, their coach, and Jed Fisher's a Florida alumni who, you heard it here first, maybe a sleeper guy to replace Billy Napier. If you're Florida, Jed Fish was previously at Arizona. He turned them around. They went from 1-11 to 10-3 before he took the Washington job when Katie Nabour went to Bama. Jed Fish, my guy, Florida alumni, coach at Florida. I'm going with him. And remember, I said he might be a sleeper for Florida head coaching job if all the big fish don't take the bait. You got Stanford and Virginia. I'm going Virginia. Arizona State at Baylor. I'm going Baylor. BYU and East Carolina. That's a good little small game. Not big to names unless you follow football. I'm gonna go BYU. What else you got on here? I think that's it. You got Colorado playing Wyoming at home. Colorado needs a game like that at this point in time in their season where they're struggling for any consistency on offense, struggling for identity on offense. I like them to get the wheels turning this weekend and beat Wyoming. You got California and San Diego State. Cal at San Diego State. I'm gonna go Cal. Then you got Michigan State at USC. I'm going USC. USC is quietly playing some really good football. They're not getting talked about. They just got ranked this week, so they're 25th. They're 3-0. They've been playing some really good football. Nobody's really talking about them, which is probably good because usually every other year when they talk about them, they fail to live up to it. So they've been playing really good football quietly out west. I like USC to get the W. And that's it for this week. That's it for this week. Week 3 recap, week 4 preview. I hope, for Gator fans out there that think like me, I hope Miami take care of business and get us a new coach. I want Lane Kiffin. He's the top of my list. So hopefully we can get the ball rolling on and seeing if he's interested in leaving Ole Miss. I know a lot of people say he won't leave Ole Miss. I think he will. He will never get the talent it takes to win the championship at Ole Miss. Nobody wants to go live in Ole Miss. His best chance at winning the championship at Ole Miss was last year. He had his best roster and he didn't get it done. But if you came to Florida with that spread offense, that spread high octane, up-tempo offense, recruits will be running to play with him. I think his biggest hire and most important hire if he came to Florida would be defensive coordinator. If he went and got a defensive coordinator and just let the defensive coordinator do his thing on the side of the ball, I think he would be great. The offense he runs and the athlete we have in the state of Florida, he could keep the Jeremiah Smiths in Florida. And he actually stole a quarterback, Austin Simmons, his starting quarterback. He actually stole from the Florida Gators. So he knows how to recruit. He knows how to get hot, and he's also great with quarterbacks. We all seen what he did with Jackson Dart. So I think that's a home run hire. That's the splash hire for Florida. And then a fairy tale defensive coordinator, Will Muschamp. I know that sounds crazy. And for people who keep saying he's at Georgia and he's not leaving Georgia, he is not at Georgia. He hasn't been at Georgia all year. And he was only at Georgia as an analyst anyway, because he wanted to be able to see his son play, who plays at Vanderbilt. And he also talked to Billy Napier this past offseason about coming to Florida staff as defensive coordinator. So if you're Lane Kiffin, you get the job, you call Will Muschamp, you make him tell him no, you make him tell you no, and you can bring that Urban Meyer type, Steve Spurrier type offense back to the University of Florida and save us from the pain we've seen and dealt with since Urban Meyer. That's it, man. I'm gonna wrap it up, get up out of here. Tune in next week, each and every Tuesday. I say 8 o'clock, but it also depends on what time I get out of my kids' flag practice. So 8:30 every Tuesday, I'm here for college football talk. Every Thursday at 8:30, I'm here for my flag football coverage of the Pensacola League. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all tune in, make sure y'all share, like, and come on with it next Tuesday. Peace.
First off, fuck Bama in the Roll Tide. Fuck Tuscaloosa in every city that's close by. Bitch ass hillbilly redneck fans. Auburn almost caught y'all slacking like dress pants. Michigan trash, they ain't got a damn chance. Only Wolverine I respect is X-Man. Sheen ass coach got exposed, still in plays. Damn right I'm bitter, y'all sweeter than lemonade. Texas ain't shit to rave about. The Longhorns only good at a steakhouse. Had y'all like number 3, I was like no way. Y'all lost to Oklahoma, which means y'all just okay.